everybody, my name is April and this is Let Your Hair Down. If you are new to my channel, I would like to say welcome and thank you for stopping by. I am so excited that you guys are here if you are new, and if you have been following me and you're an old timer, what's up? Thank you for stopping by to see my new video. So my whole channel is basically about positive encouragement, positive lifestyle, teacher vibes because I am a full-time teacher, and just good old-fashioned girl talk. Please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell. That way you can get notifications each time I post a new video. So as you can see by my title, I am going to be talking about things I wish I knew when I started teaching. So just a tiny bit of background information about me. I have been a teacher here in Florida. I'm going on my 10th year in the classroom, and I have taught grades from pre-K ESC, kindergarten, first, second, and third. So I have been around the block a couple of times. So I have a lot of experience, and I'm just so excited to kind of share that with you guys and to help out some of my first year, second year, even third year teachers that may need a little support in the classroom just to kind of get through their everyday life. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is things I wish I knew or somebody told me when I started teaching, that it takes up so much time. Now, teaching is a beautiful profession, don't get me wrong. I still love it to this day. I love interacting with the kids, but nobody really told me how much planning it takes, how much communication it takes, how much of my own money it takes, and how much of myself it takes. And when I say myself, I mean like my physical abilities, I mean my mental capacity. All of that plays into teaching because you wear so many different hats through the day. You are literally those children's mom, you're their nurse, you're their friend, you can be their disciplinarian. What is that word? Disciplinarian? You are so many things to those kids, and I honestly, it is the most tired I've ever been in my life, especially the first week of school. There is no tired like a teacher tired, okay? Like, I come home, I take a nap at like 5, and I had to like wake up and go back to bed because you are absolutely exhausted, but it does get better. I want to tell you that. So that's one thing that no one actually mentioned to us or to me, and when I started teaching, is just the time commitment that it takes. So the next thing I want to talk about is parents, the big P word. Now, when I was in my internship and in my college courses, we always heard stories about how just very needy a parent could be, or how sometimes really rude or just not understanding. And I have to say I've been very blessed where I had more positive interaction with parents than I have had negative, but I have heard some stories, and I had some personal things that happened to me where it is very overwhelming. It can be very, very taxing on you mentally, and it can kind of knock down your confidence if you have a parent in your school or in your classroom that you associate with that is being really difficult. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there are difficult parents out there, and my teachers already know like how it is with parents, and I personally just have to remember that I am there to help their child become the absolute best that they can be, and that is my role as a teacher. And it's really hard not to take it personal because sometimes they do try and antagonize you, especially younger teachers. And I mean, I guess any teacher, they try and see that, oh, you only been teaching for X amount of years, she doesn't really know what she's talking about, and that's not true at all. We just all have to gain that experience. So my personal advice on how I deal with parents, I like to keep it extremely professional. I like to honestly just get a strong voice and just lay out the facts and stay on topic. What really helps me too is if I'm gonna have a phone conference with a parent or even like a personal face-to-face conference, I like to write my things down. I like to have it bulleted. That way we all are on the same page, and if they start yickety-yakking and getting off point and all that stuff, I bring them right on back to topic. Okay, so we're talking about little Johnny's grades. We're talking about little Johnny's behavior. And I have to say, like, I had to grow in that area because not all parents are gonna take my personality well, or they're not gonna take what I say say the same way as I meant it. So I like to tread lightly when it comes to parents until I really get to figure them out and their personality, especially like what we call the helicopter parents, the ones that need to know everything that you're doing at every single point in time, and they're just like all over you. You have to set a boundary. And that kind of leads me into my next point. It's about setting boundaries. It's something that when I was going through my program for education that nobody really taught me. I kind of had to learn that on my own. I have the biggest issue setting boundaries when it comes to communication and when it comes to emails. Now, I like to give a response really quickly. I don't like anything to linger on. I like to answer that person right then and there. That way it's mentally out of my mind. I don't have to worry about it anymore. But I'm telling you, like, you have to set a boundary. You have to say, okay, at 5 o'clock, I know that's a little late, at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever time works for you, I am not answering any emails. I'm not answering any texts about school. I'm not hopping on Facebook. I'm not looking at somebody's Google Classroom, nothing. You have to cut it off, because if you don't let it cut off, it will consume you, and you would literally feel like you never left school, because your time at home, and I had to learn this, is my time at home, and you deserve that. Like, I feel like with teaching too, it kind of makes you feel like you always have to be there all the time. And teaching is what I do. It's not my whole entire life. And it took me some years to understand that, because I wanted to be available for everyone. I wanted everyone to know that I was there for them and things like that. But when you're starting to teach, you have to set a boundary. I know a lot of my friends have the email, like our school email, on our cell phones, and we can pull up emails right away from our cell phones. I personally have it on there just because I wear many different hats in the school, so I would like to be in the know all the time. But you don't have to have that. You don't have to have the email on your phone. You don't have to respond right away. Just give yourself some boundaries, especially when it comes to your work. Like, everyone says, like, oh, don't you grade papers late at night? And they think I like have my glasses and my tea and I'm like grading papers. Nah, dog. I do that right when the kids are in class and I hand it right on back. Like, but those practices take time. So if you are a beginning teacher, it is okay if you take work home, but there has to be 1 or 2 nights a week where you just say, you know what, on Monday nights, whatever's on my desk is going to be on my desk. And I'll get to it when I get to it, it'll always be there. Because the thing about teaching too, the work literally never stops. I don't care if you have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, there's always something you can be doing, or there's always an idea that you can always push out and implement for the following week or whatever. So it's really, really important. And I had to learn this, y'all. I am not perfect. Set a boundary. My day is Monday. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't do anything after 5 o'clock when it comes to school, because I am done. That is my night to get my glass of wine, my ice cream, make a nice dinner, even hang out with a friend. And that's just my night. And I try and incorporate another night as well, but I haven't really set that date yet. See, I have issues with boundaries. I'm still working on that. So if you, like I said before, if you're a beginning teacher or you just need help setting boundaries, those are some of the things that I have to do. And schedule your time too. Like, I'm a huge planner. You guys should check out my other video I did for my Erin Cauldron planner. I got new this year and I'm really excited about it. I just did like a little flip through video about it. But I have to schedule in, okay, this is when April's gonna hang out with her friends. This is when April's gonna do this. I have to put that on the calendar because I forget. So that's another thing. So the next point I wanna talk about is side hustle Sally. Like, we all know, especially here in Florida, that we don't have the most high paying salary. And frankly, I have this conversation all the time with my family members, because they're all teachers, and some of my friends, about how little we get paid and how redonkulous it is that we have to get a side job just to feel a little bit more comfortable. Not necessarily to like make ends meet, but to feel comfortable. Like, I love to get my hair done, my nails done. I love cool little jewelry. I love to shop. And I feel like I work so hard. Why would I not want to give myself that? So with my teaching, like, I'm a pretty good budgeter for the most part. At least I like to think so. But I like that extra cushion just in case something were to happen, or I want to do a vacation. And sometimes with teaching, you just can't make it work, especially if you have multiple children or whatever your situation may be. It's just, I found that it's easier for me and I feel more comfortable having a side hustle. So if your school offers like a before and after care, hop on that bus. I do it at my school that I've been at for many years. And honestly, it's the easiest money I've ever made in my lifetime. Tutoring, if your school allows you to tutor. I used to work at Old Navy way back in the day. Like when I first started teaching and I did like the night shift, I did 5 to close. I worked at Barnes and Nobles. Honey, I worked at so many places, and it was just because I wanted the extra money. I like the lifestyle I have. I like treating myself to different things. I like helping out a family member if they need help, or having that small little cushion. So with teaching, nobody really told me. Like, I knew the salary was low, but dang, I didn't know it was that low. Like, like, especially if you're trying to buy a house or a car, like, and you don't have like support, outside support. Hey, I'm all about side hustle Sally, so get you some money, honey. And I'm just saying, especially once you start rolling into the school and you got your groove and you feel like you can take on more responsibility, get you a side job. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And don't feel ashamed that you have to do that. So that's my little tidbit about things that no one told me when I was starting to teach. And my last point I want to talk to you guys about is definitely there is an I in team. And you're gonna be like, what does that even mean? And I have to be a little sensitive. So my last point I want to bring to you is there is an I in team. You're like, April, what does that even mean? Well, I feel like underlyingly there is a teacher competition. We might not want to say it out loud. And I know we're on like a grade level team or whatever, but I always feel like there's always 1 or 2 teachers, maybe more, that tries to up their game. You know, that way they can kind of stay on top, or so-and-so always has this, so-and-so always has this. And I have to say to you, please don't take that personal. Please don't feel like you have to do more, go up and beyond the more that you're doing, because you don't have to be perfect to be effective. I'll say that again. You don't have to be perfect to be effective. And sometimes, and I've noticed this with myself, like I kind of say to myself, like I'm a team player. I like to share a lot of things, but I like to think through things a little bit differently than a lot of people. Like I have a slow processing, like I really have to think through it. And then I produce a product and people are like, oh, that's really cool. How did you do that? I mean, I just kind of thought about it. I'm not really trying to one up anybody. I don't even think about it like that. I just like to do what I like to do, and that's why I like teaching, to be very creative. So let me get back to my point about there is an I in team. If you find yourself next to a group of teachers, especially veteran teachers, and you see that they're producing a lot of really cool things, don't be afraid to ask them, hey, how did you do this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Can you share that with me? Because I met a lot of teachers in my day, and no disrespect, that they don't like to share. They're like, well, this is what I made, and I want admin to look at me, and blah, blah, blah. You know, and it's like, all right, dog, well, we're all listening together. Like, we make the same amount of money, whatever. So I just want to say, don't take it personal, and you may encounter that once you start kind of getting into your teaching career. So those are some things that have really helped me to realize kind of early on. And also things that I wish someone would have told me about teaching: get you a buddy teacher friend. Like, you need somebody, like, not your boyfriend, not your husband, not your significant other, someone that really understands what you're going through and that you can really talk to and trust. Because when you're in teaching, especially like in leadership, it can be very lonely if the other friends that you have are not teachers. Like, I feel like you should have at least 1 or 2 teacher buddies that you can really sit down and say, hey guys, I really don't understand that meeting. What were they talking about? What's a standard? What gradual release model or whatever it's called? What does that mean? Because you'll be hearing a lot of different ABC soup is what we call them, like alphabet soup. And I want you to feel comfortable asking someone how you feel, because teaching can be very intimidating. And I'm here to say, if you love the kids and you want to see change in this world, you have the right job. And like I said before, you do not have to be perfect to be effective. So I am so excited that I got to do this video with you guys. I absolutely love talking about teaching. It just fires me up because I just have such a passion for it. If there's any questions, comments, anything you want me to answer, please drop it in the comment box and I will answer it as soon as I can. Remember, with boundaries, I'm just kidding, but I'll definitely answer it as soon as I can. Or if there's any topics that you want me to do videos on. I am working on a really cool video for you guys about setting up during like this quarantine or this COVID-19 type of setting. So I'm really excited to push that out so you guys can kind of see here in Florida what they're expecting us to do. But Thank you so much for being here with me today. Don't forget to subscribe and like and hit that bell because I'm going to be pushing out some more videos very, very soon. And I want you guys to stay on board with that. Well, until next time, I am your girl April and this is, ooh, it's thundering. Y'all hear that? Ooh. I am your girl April and this is Let Your Hair Down. Until next time, have a good day, guys.